Resigned last July of 2017. She has been with the president from the start. She was there during the campaign. And although she had effectively stopped doing briefings, you mentioned more than 3 months since the last White House briefing, she had become an incredibly important and close advisor to the president. David, she is one of, I believe, only 3 White House staffers who accompanied him on each and every one of his trips abroad. And in many of those recent trips, she was part of the president's tight delegation in meetings with foreign leaders. Even during those 2 summit meetings with Kim Jong-un, Sarah Sanders, the press secretary, was sitting there at the table with the president. That is something I have covered a dozen different press secretaries, 4 different presidents. I have never seen a press secretary play a role that prominent, that close to the president. So although the public has seen much less of her in recent months, really over the past year, she has been one of the president's absolute closest and most important advisors.
As John Carl points out, there in many ways Sarah Sanders has taken on a much larger role than the typical role of the press secretary at the White House, just traveling with the president on his overseas trip. In fact, part of that royal welcome by the Queen in the UK. I'm joined now by Cecilia Vega, who also covers the White House for us. And Cecilia, you and I have talked about the role that Sarah Sanders has had from the very start, which has been sort of atypical from what we've seen in the White House in previous administrations. She's been right at the president's side. She's been in the Situation Room, and she's been with him on foreign trips.